Welcome to another episode of TaxSnax. We're going to call this one Spooky Snacks. Spooky. Because we have a very special spooky episode with Brian. Brian, why don't you introduce yourselves to the people?
Hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Streig. I live in Austin, Texas. I'm a tax guy at Calhoun, Thomson, and Matza. But as you can tell behind me, I'm not in Austin anymore. I'm up in Breckenridge enjoying the nice snowfall.
I know, so...
That's a beautiful way to start the fall.
You know, we started the fall that way as well.
I know. I'm trying to feel better about it.
Well, yeah, I think y'all got that same snowstorm.
We did. Yeah, it was, true Montana form.
It was the same
Can y'all see the mountains? Like, I just see like this beautiful panoramic view of mountains covered in snow right now.
That's kind of what ours looks like, too.
Okay, good.
It's nice, yeah.
The roads are a little slushy.
Yeah, I could do without that.
I could do without that for sure.
Yeah, luckily we live walking distance into town. So once we park, we only drive to go get groceries.
That's that nice, is super lucky.
Oh, man. Can't relate.
Oh, well, so do I. So never mind.
I was like, no.
All right. Well, Kaylee, do you want to kick us off?
Yes. The money question. What is the craziest thing that you've heard about taxes and social media?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Right now, it seems to be related to the ERC and who's eligible, what are people going to do? Are they going to amend, or do they think the IRS is going to change their mind about how to report this? And the other thing that's creeping up that I've been paying a lot of attention to is the beneficial ownership reporting that starts next year. And there's a big debate about whether accountants can actually perform this service and help our clients, and whether that is an accounting service or a legal service that we are prohibited from performing.
Could you just tell me a little bit about what that is in general?
Yeah, so it happened a few years ago. They passed a law that FinCEN, the Department of Treasury Financial Crimes Unit thingy, they want to be able to track all these the ownership structures of all these different businesses, because they think that doing that, they can track money laundering. Oh. So they came up with this reporting requirement that every business has to file this form with the FinCEN, which is very similar to what foreign reporting is for banking. But this is on the entity level, and it doesn't have to do anything with foreign. But it's not written into the tax code. It's written into a different part of government law. And accountants typically, we can practice law as long as it's written into the tax code. But if it's not in that code, then we can't perform legal services. And so that's been the biggest thing is, who's doing it? What are they going to do? How are they going to get around that limitation? And I posted something yesterday, and it kind of went crazy of people having different ideas. I think I'm going to be conservative and just tell my clients to go contact their attorney.
That's what I was going to ask is, how will you handle that situation if someone says, please?
Yeah, it'll be hard to say no. There are some certain, small businesses that who the beneficial owners are. It's like Mary and Tom. Those are the two people that you have to worry about. But, when you get to more complicated organizational structures, there are a lot more things to consider. And so the AICPA and insurance companies that, give accountants liability insurance, they're the ones saying, y'all need to stay clear of this. Tell your clients you just can't help them, and refer them to FAQs that they can read themselves and their attorneys.
Oh, man.
Oh, that sounds complicated.
I know. I would just cry if I had to do it.
Well, I feel like it seems complicated for accountants as well as the clients. Mm-hmm. It's because how do you as a client think that you can come to your accountant and get help, but also there is that sense of, accountants really can't do much on that side either. It's better if you go to an attorney or if you read these FAQs.
Right. I mean, our gut instinct is to want to help our clients as much as we can and do whatever it takes to help them. And so this is one of those times when they're just saying, don't do it. You put yourself into exposure. There are high penalties for getting it wrong or missing it. And They're like, you can't take on that liability.
What are those penalties for getting it wrong and missing it?
I think it's similar to the F bar where you've got like a day's limit, and then they start putting on like up to $10,000 penalties. And there's even something in I haven't read it all. I'm learning right now. I mean, there's some of it, if there's some criminal kind of jail time, like threatening kind of language in there too. So it's nothing to mess up, and it's nothing to dabble in. You either want to be an expert or you don't want to do it at all.
So when it comes to like these consequences and the I guess jail time possibly, who is really looking more at that? The professional or the client?
The way I was reading a couple of things today, it looks like it could be both. I mean, it looks like the professional could assume some responsibility for a submission being incorrect. And that's why they're like, your insurance liability coverage isn't going to cover that because that's not an accounting type service.
Right. Oh, man. And it is the client's responsibility at the end of the day to make sure that everything's correct before it's submitted. We've learned that.
Yeah, learned that a little bit.
Learning that every day.
There was a post today about that fact that in tax law, accountants can rely on their clients. So if you give me information that's incorrect and it gets filed with the IRS goes after the client because it's written into law. We can rely on what our clients give us to help them prepare these returns. There's no similar thing on legal services. So the attorney, the practicing person is also liable for submitting something incorrect.
Wow. And you just put everything at risk for that. Yeah, no, that's somebody else's problem in this.
Exactly. But it sounds like there are some accountants that are willing to take that risk to help their clients, or they see it as a profit venture that they can delve into.
That's very brave of them.
And I feel like as you were saying,
for it.
Admirable.
Yeah, and as you were saying, with certain businesses and entities, it is a little less complicated than others, where you have just one person or two people rather than way more than that and taking the responsibility of that.
Right. And you've got bigger businesses with boards of directors and people that are officers that aren't actually owners. And are they a beneficial owner in terms of what this regulation is looking to find out? And so that's where it can get complicated. Even not small, like medium-sized local businesses could run into complicated issues.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Well, I just really want to hear more of that, the talk on it, and when you said when you guys were talking on Twitter about it. So I definitely want to read more into that, even though it's like a different conversation when it comes in between professionals of what that is. But I'd love to also see what the general public and more clients are thinking as well when it comes to this,
and attorneys as well. Like, how are they gonna handle this?
They're gonna have a huge influx.
Yeah.
And are they gonna want to do it? I mean, that's the other. I mean, you can say it's an attorney's, that it's something they should be providing, but maybe they feel the same way. They don't want to get involved in this kind of thing either.
Right, and that seems like something that's a very specialized type of practice too. So there's probably not as many attorneys as just a general one.
And the bad thing is, I don't think business owners know that much about this yet.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it. I mean, I saw some of the things on tax Twitter, but I was just like, oh, okay.
As of course one
do.
would think. Yes.
Oh, cool.
And that's one of the things the AICPA is really trying to do, is get Congress to give an extension of time just to educate the general public.
Right.
Well, it's better to do that. I mean, I feel like right now it seems like everyone's still talking about it and chatting about it and thinking about what is everyone going to do, what route is everyone going to take, and it's just the more time you give, the better it's going to be for everybody.
I think so.
Because you definitely have people like me. I don't ever know what's going on. That's just me being completely honest.
I'm just
Yeah, no, I mean, like you could have a side business that you run on the side, whatever. You rent out a guest room or you do something and you incorporated it somehow, and then you have to figure out, does it apply to you?
We do have to do that.
Oh,
no.
I just realized
we
have
both
to
have
do that.
LLCs. Oh, man.
Yeah, see, you're in that same position.
You gotta read it.
Yeah, you have to figure it out. And don't come asking your tax Twitter friends for help.
That's exactly.
Well, that was my first
That was the first plan. It's way better than asking the TikTok. 'Cause apparently that's not where you want to go
working either.
For information unless someone's vetted.
Oh, yeah, just wait till they start like TikToking about this.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to see what someone's roommate Paul has to say about this.
Paul's
Yeah, hopefully Laura Lynn will get in front of everything and like squash it before it gets too out of hand.
She will.
Mm-hmm.
She absolutely will. And I feel like she's always on it. She's always on it. She's always on those. And people are always tagging her.
I know.
They're tagging her in everything.
I saw that.
Maybe I should take a look out for it and we should just start tagging her. Maybe she won't watch this episode and
we
know.
We should create like some phony account and then tag her with something crazy and see what she does.
What happens?
I know.
Should we call it Bunches of Bananas? That's what it's going to be.
Bunches of Bananas.
She'll only know if she watches this.
Well, hopefully she doesn't, because now she's going to know who spammed her. But speaking of Laura Lynn, you will also be at New Money with us along with Laura Lynn. So why don't you tell us a bit about your session, which I think is bananas.
So I'm doing 2 sessions. I'm doing one with Josh on LGBTQ issues in the workplace and in accounting and dealing with clients, and the other on insurance. So which one?
Give us a
spiel on both.
Give us a spiel on both of them. We want to know.
So Josh and I did a presentation at the Tax Twitter retreat, and it went really well. And we had talked about doing something. So we're going to build off of that and creating a safe space for people to ask questions that maybe they're afraid to ask their coworker that is gay or their lesbian neighbor or client, and somewhere that people can. We don't know all the answers either, but we can tell you how we would interpret that question and what we would think what we would like to hear as the answer. So that's going to be from just like the personal kind of relationship building things that business owners have to know about dealing with their employees and their clients. Staff need to know on how to deal interpersonally with themselves and their clients. And so I think it'll be a really fun and interesting kind of way to approach the topic without it being too just like teachy or preachy or anything like that.
I'm looking forward to it because it is definitely unique in our in that summit. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, we have organizations and classes kind of periodically on other parts of the diversity and inclusion spectrum. Right. But this is kind of one area that's often overlooked and makes people uncomfortable a lot of times. And so hopefully this will be a way to make it not uncomfortable.
Yeah, or at least help give people the tools to feel more comfortable or have a better idea of how to start those conversations if they have to.
Exactly. That's our goal, at least.
Yeah.
So it should be fun. The whole idea is it should be fun. It shouldn't be something like you walk away thinking, oh man, that was a waste of time.
Right.
Yeah. And it will be fun. And I feel like making those connections and just having that session and really having it separated like allows for it to be something where you can really focus on this one topic and kind of have a whole session around it, because I feel like it's diversity is something you can talk about all day long. Exactly. And there's so many different areas of diversity and inclusion, and
everybody can find like a little bit to relate to.
So
exactly.
Should be a fun one.
Everybody has something that makes them unique or in a diverse category, whether it's, a learning disability, whether it's being too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, too old, too young, an ethnicity, male, female. There's so many different diversities issues that go on in the workplace. And this is just one of them, but it's not talked about as much because I think a lot of people get uncomfortable with it.
Yeah, a lot of people think it's spooky.
Spooky.
Todd just keeps giving us the thumbs down on my jokes over here.
He thinks we're really funny. He just doesn't want to admit it.
I know, right? And your other session is insurance, which is like your thing. It's the thing at your firm as well.
Yeah. Our firm is, we started off as a BDO firm, and they left town when all the big firms left Austin and sold off their practices to the managing partner. So we happened to be that one. So, we were just a normal, regular kind of regional accounting firm. And we happened to be, have some insurance clients, and we started developing the skills and knowledge to help service them. And that started growing just organically until we finally looked around and said, well, this needs to be our thing. And that's what we're trying to do now is really make that our thing. And we spend a lot of money on the training every year. We bring in the national people that do insurance training to Austin for our staff and bring our clients in so that they have up-to-date training. We send our staff to multi-day conferences just on insurance, whether it's audit or tax or any of those accounting areas. And so it's something that we put a lot of time and effort into. And as a tax practitioner, it's actually a really fun part of tax work. I enjoy working on those returns and dealing with their questions. And it's just so different. And it's just, you just see so many varieties of stuff.
Right. And not all CPAs know how to handle setting up a new insurance company. And it sounds like it can be really easily complicated very quickly. And so
you can mess up really fast.
Yeah, I remember you telling us that. And then the IRS gets very mad.
Yes, we had a client that didn't do it through us. And I don't exactly know how he ended up dealing with the people he dealt with, because they were already on the IRS's radar as being kind of criminally negligent in terms of going after these things. So they set up an insurance company, but it was all on paper. It was all fake. And the IRS came in. It was really sad. The couple divorced. It was just so crazy. Their finances were totally ruined. All their retirement was completely wiped out. It was just crazy. So that's one of the things that those people that are promoting this stuff don't tell you, is that it is complicated. You have to set it up correctly. You have to treat it like a real business. And by business, I mean like a real insurance company. And you have to have real risk. You have to take on money for something that could happen, and you have to have claims, and you have to protect your customers' money. And there's just so many facets of it that if you just treat it like your side hustle, it's not going to work.
Right. Oh, wow. So man, you've got some killer sessions. But tell us what you're looking forward to most about New Money.
The people you're bringing to New Money are just some of the most interesting people in the accounting and finance sphere. And I followed a lot of them over the years. And I cannot wait to sit down and have a beer with these people and just get to know them, because there's so many people that I haven't met in person, whether it was because of COVID and not traveling or just never being in the right place at the right time to run into them.
Right. No. Well, and you can certainly have a beer with them, both at both of our mixers.
We've got mixers.
Sunset Speakeasy and Flamingo.
Okay, so now you have to remind me, what costumes do I need to bring so I get into the door?
Okay, so you need to think pink for the Flamingo, or feathers, or both. And then the Speakeasy is sexy 1920s, underground.
The bootlegger's badge.
That's what I wanted to call it.
What we like to call it.
That will be a lot of fun.
I know, and we've heard Sabrina is already ready to bring it.
And so is Laurelyn. And
Of
Nicole.
course.
I guess the people are really coming with their
They're ready.
costumes.
We
So I'm really
have
going to have
got
to
to
step it up. Yeah.
Oh
Gotta
gosh.
I
I'm
think
gonna have to
we gotta have a contest.
go dig around and find something good.
Yeah, don't forget the hat, though.
Oh yeah, you gotta bring the hat.
You got to bring the hat. You're like our hat king at this point.
Yeah. If you have a fedora, I always say it's a party when someone's wearing a fedora.
No, it's not.
Okay, but at a speakeasy it would be.
It would. Well,
we're gonna peel on out of here.
look at that. But before we peel on out, why don't you close us out by telling the people about New Money and how they can get their $50 off with your code.
So, New Money is in December 19th, 20th?
December 18th to 20th.
18th through the 20th. I was close. 19th is Monday, and I think that was what I was thinking.
I'm pretty sure you're teaching on the 19th, so we're all correct.
Okay, so that's why the date stuck in. So you can get. I will post it on Twitter. You can go look for me, C Brian CPA, and I'll have a link to the sign up sheet where you can sign up with a discount. Yay! Everybody loves a discount, and it'll be. I mean, it's at the Disney World, World, right? I get land and world mixed up, but it will be a blast. And you'll see some of the best people that are in the industry giving presentations.
No, it's going to be fun, and you're going to want to be there, and you're going to want your $50 off.
You will.
You know? Because if you ask Todd, we love a discount.
We love a discount.
Especially at Disney World and Disneyland. Anything Disney, you're going to want that discount.
Yeah, and we're accountants, so we understand and appreciate discounts.
Well, thanks for being here with us today.
Yeah.
And thanks for putting your hat on, to have your hat on with us.
But we're going to make like a banana and split, but we had bunches of fun with you today.
This was fun.
It just came to me.
It just came to you. TaxSnax is brought to you by non-tax experts just like you.
So join us next week where we'll have some more snacks, some more tax, and a lot of little bits of information for you.
And don't forget to shop our spooky sale. Happy Halloween.
Boo!